Hey there, it's Erik J. Olson. I am back recording another live episode for our podcast Journey to $100 million. And today I have the pleasure of being online live with Joe White. Hey, Joe.
Hi, how are you, Erik? Thanks for having me. This is going to be awesome.
Hey, you got it. So, hey, Joe, for the audience, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself and what you do?
Well, I started my own LLC. It's called Coach Joe White 97 Consulting. Just trying to go out and help businesses, individuals, entrepreneurs, create an atmosphere in their company that people want to be there and people want to work there. I was an professional baseball player, then got in the business world, then got in the educational world, retired from that. And now, I tell people all the time, I went to my passion every day for 30 years. And that's what I want to try to help people do, is go to their passion by having a good, solid, positive workplace to go to every day.
Cool. What do you normally find when you go into a client office as far as like the passion and the drive of the folks?
It's a little different than when I was dealing with my educational career. What I see more of now is people just having to go to work instead of getting to go to work. And I call it get to, have to. And it's a real simple process, but it's hard to do. 70% of Americans are disengaged at work. And it's costing our companies and our businesses about $500 billion a year in lost productivity. And that's what I want to try to help is people to really figure out what their passion is, and what their purpose is. And if we can get the leaders in those companies and so forth to start switching their way of thinking towards that, I think we would all have a lot better world to live in.
Yeah, that's crazy. The 70% of the people have basically checked out. They're showing up and they stick around for 8 hours and then they bolt. That's a shame. Yeah. So if we can capture that, that's a huge productivity boost.
Right.
As far as the kind of clients you work with, is there a particular niche or industry that you kind of resonate with the most?
Not really, not right now. I worked with a printing company on Friday, and I'm going to be working with an electric company today, actually a 4-hour workshop on leadership and so forth today. And I'm just building it from there. I just want to help all people. And the companies that I'm looking to help are the ones that are open to change, open to looking at themselves and reflecting on what's going on in their business and what's going on in their world. And that's really what I'm looking for right now, is just any type of business that wants to change and wants people to enjoy coming to their place of business and working there.
Gotcha. We actually have a comment from Zach Miller, or Zach Miller says on Facebook. Zach comments, let me put it up here. Those stats seem like employee numbers. How does a business owner like the ones you work with change the mindset of someone other than themselves?
Yeah, that's a great question. And I think the biggest way you do that is you make your people feel valued. And the way I do it is, there's some examples out there. So one of the examples I would give you is, to make your people feel valued, you empower them. You ask them questions. You listen to them. I think that's one of the big ones, is listening. It's not so much, paying them more money and all those different things. I think those are things that are important. Have a meeting and have them run the meeting once in a while. Ask them for their opinion on what's going on at work. Make them feel valued and make them feel important. I think that's so huge nowadays, where I think a lot of people walk into the business and they just feel like they're just a number. I call it, in education, I used to call it data education, where we went into everything as people were data and not people. And I think in business, we're getting to that point too, where people are data and they're not looked at as for what they can do. Every single person that works for you is special. You hired them because you thought they were special. You thought they were going to help your business grow. If your people aren't growing, your business aren't growing. So as a business leader, as a business owner, it's a gigantic, fun, absolutely positive opportunity every day to help your people grow and get better. And if you're, like I said, if your people are growing and getting better, think what your business is going to do. So your mindset, I think, has got to change to people first in your organization, and how can I help them grow every single day? And empowering them is probably the best way to do it.
Yeah, great question, great advice. And as a business owner, if you have really solid people that have the confidence and you've enabled them to make decisions and you've given them authority, frankly, it makes your job a lot easier, especially if you've given them the time and attention to train them on the way that you would like things to have happen.
No doubt. And training and expectations are huge. Now, what I like to tell people is this isn't like a touchy-feely type thing. I used to challenge my players all the time. The only way they're going to learn and grow is when you challenge them. Challenge them. And when you challenge them, it's also telling those people that you believe in them. And when you challenge somebody in your business to do a new project or come up with a new marketing scheme or whatever it might be, you're telling them, I believe in you. I believe that you can get this done. And that is gigantic. And a lot of business leaders nowadays, they don't trust to challenge people because they don't trust the end result is going to fit what they want. But you have to guide them there, but you have to give them the space to fail. And as a business owner, that's kind of a tough thing to do. But I have a saying that people aren't perfect, but we want them to progress. So don't expect your people to be perfect, but do expect them to progress. And that's what your job is to help them progress. They're going to make mistakes. Every mistake is a learning opportunity for them. And that's what's so fun about being a leader. And we get caught up. I call it the noise, Eric. I call it the noise. When the noise hits us, do we lose that perspective of people first and helping them grow and all that? And that's the best leaders can lead with their people, helping them through the noise instead of trying to go through the noise by themselves. And that's what happens a lot of times nowadays is when the noise hits us, COVID, that's noise. When the noise hits us, are we still relying on our people to get us through as a team, as a group that can work together? That's what you need to do.
Great messaging. I love the part about allowing your folks to fail, because these are not big failures usually.
No.
These are small failures. It's not going to put you out of business. It's not going to make you lose clients most of the time. But I think it's important to allow people to give them the responsibility. You tell them the way that you think it should be done. If they have a different opinion, and even if your experience says, you know what, the way they want to do it is not going to work, let them figure it out for themselves. Right. Now they have that experience themselves versus just saying, oh, well, Eric or Joe says that won't work, so I won't do it. You know what? Try it. Yeah. I don't think it's going to work, but go for it. If it does, awesome. I've learned something. If it doesn't, then you've learned something.
Ginormous. I used to tell like athletes that I used to work with, I used to say, when you can feel yourself do it wrong, we've won. Because if you can feel yourself do it wrong, now you know how to do it right. Now you can feel yourself do it right. It's kind of the same concept. And that's what's so cool about you as a leader, that you get a chance every day. I get so excited to think about the opportunities. When I would drive to school, when I would drive to work, I would get so excited that when I talk about going to my passion, I would get so excited because I would just think about all the different opportunities that I could help people grow for the day. And every situation that happens is a growth opportunity. It really is, good or bad. And that's the great thing about being a leader.
Yeah, absolutely love it. Great. You mentioned COVID earlier. How has COVID impacted your business and the businesses of your clients?
It slowed everything down. It kind of brought what I was trying to do and what I was trying to produce to a halt. The one I'm doing today, the leadership workshop I'm doing today, is actually going to be online, which is good. And I have some good mentors out there that are helping me with that piece of it. But again, everything is an opportunity. And what it's done for me is it's given me more opportunity to reevaluate, read more books, study more, do all these different things, because everything's an opportunity. And it slowed me down. I've had a couple things canceled and so forth because we couldn't meet with with a certain amount of people in public and so forth. So, it is what it is, but you keep grinding. You just keep your nose to the grindstone, and you keep grinding through it, because like I said, I've taken this as an opportunity. I met with Bob Chapman the other day. He's the CEO of Barry Waymiller, and his people first approach is changing the world. And I got to meet online with him the other day, and I was like, so those opportunities have come because of COVID, actually. So that's been good.
Yeah, I think the people that keep pressing forward during COVID are going to come out of this way ahead of the people that just kind of take a break. And there's a lot of people that are taking breaks right now.
Yeah, no doubt. You have so many opportunities to learn and grow with this right now. And people are learning that now. People are learning different ways to do their business, and it's helping them. So hopefully at the end of this, Eric, I call it list and learn, right? So at the end of this, we can list out things and learn from them all and become better in the end. So list and learn and get better. That's what you have to do now.
Couldn't agree more. As far as building your own company, is there some sort of a marketing strategy that's been working well for you?
It's hard. I'm going to be honest with you on this one. Really honest. It's hard for me to market myself. That's because I'm doing this by myself, and it's a hard deal to do. And I've really learned a lot about the Facebook, the social media aspect of this, LinkedIn, Instagram, all those things. And actually, my kids have had to help me a lot with that. I have a daughter that goes University of Tennessee, and I have a son that goes University of Wisconsin at Whitewater, and I have a middle school son too. So they're the ones that kind of been helping me with that. I have a Beth Tranquiti in New Jersey who's helping me with some stuff too. She's helped me with my book, and I'm writing a second book. So it's given me some time to do that kind of stuff. But mostly it's been through Facebook and those kind of things. So I've been putting myself out there, which is kind of hard for me to do.
It is difficult. It's difficult, but it's also worthwhile. Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, doing things like this, getting on, live and posting all the time, it's effort. And, but you have to do that. And especially in these days where you can't meet people face to face, if you're not putting yourself out there on social media, then what are you doing?
Yeah, I mean, exactly.
So, I think what you're doing is like this is perfect. Right.
Oh, I love this. Yeah.
So I'm really glad you could join us today. We're going to take snippets of this conversation and will become part of our Journey to $100 Million podcast. But before we wrap up, is there a good place where people could find you at online?
Yeah, the best place for me is it's Whitey, WHITEY 97. That was my number when I was a coach. So Whitey 97 Whitey97consulting.com. And you can get all my information, get my book, and all that information on there.
Yeah, I'm going to put it right here in the comments for everyone to see. And there it goes. Awesome. All right, Joe.
I appreciate it.
A lot. I appreciate your time. Thanks.
Eric, thanks a lot. I really appreciate it. This has been a lot of fun. Thank you.
You got it, bud.